To the hour. Now they say you can live weeks without food, but only days without water. And I don't know if anyone's done their calculations for wine. I have, but it's been 3 weeks. Three long weeks since Tom Canavan has been in the studio, and I have truly suffered. Welcome back to Thinking Women's Oz Clark.
Hey!
It's Tom Clark.
Thank goodness you're back.
Is that where these have come from?
Well, these are from France. Yeah, in fact, we've been all over the place looking at wines for the last few months, Craig. We've been to Australia, and we've been to Austria, and we've been to South Africa.
Oh, don't start this one off in Australia again. He's just back.
Oh, just back. Well,
I'll do the accent.
But this week we're coming back to the kind of spiritual home of wine, which is France.
But it's kind of slipped, isn't it? I mean, it's now 5th in terms of wine sales, France.
It's amazing, Stephen. They publish the figures every month about the volume of wine that's sold in the UK and where it comes from. And France was #1 forever. But it's been slipping. You know, Australia overtook it, then Chile did, then Spain did, and now South Africa's overtaken it. So it's #5. And the reasons are kind of complex, partly to do with the fact that we've got so much more choice these days with wine, you know, from all over the world. And also the fact that the classic wines of France, wines from places like Bordeaux, don't tell you the name of the grape on the label. It sounds crazy, but they don't. The French believe that where the wine comes from is important, more important than the grape it's made from. Wow. So you don't realise that a Chablis is Chardonnay or a Sancerre is Sauvignon Blanc, you know, so a wee bit of education needed on French wines.
Single-handedly get French wines back.
Rehabilitate French wines. Well, let's see.
What are we going to do?
#1 is from Burgundy. It's a classic Burgundy made from Chardonnay. Have a little sniff of it and you'll maybe detect there's a little bit of nice
We're lifestyle.
a nice little bit of oak on the nose of this wine. Lovely creamy fruit.
I can taste the creamy fruit.
Oh, Craig's tasting already. Okay, we're tasting
Have
now.
a taste of it. Isn't it lovely and kind of
Oh,
crisp
I really
and fresh?
like that.
It's good, isn't it?
And
It's
I had
dry.
wine last night, so I should really be feeling a bit ugh.
Well, it is a refreshing kind of style of wine.
That's really nice.
Zingy, isn't it?
Lovely.
Lemony.
Not too heavy. It's $6.99 in Morrison's. It's the Blason de Bourgogne Chardonnay 2008. And, you know, it's a classic example of a French wine that's been made in a nice, modern, kind of light style.
I don't normally like Chardonnay, so I'm quite surprised.
It's not too oaky, and it's usually the oak that puts people off Chardonnay,
It's
really.
okay.
You know, but
Okay.
I should have known.
Next
Lovely
up.
fruit, lemony and fresh. Next up, a wee bit of a change of pace. This one comes from Alsace. Have a sniff of it, and it's quite a different aroma from this wine. And if you have a sip, you'll find there's a little bit of sweetness to it. Not a sweet wine, but a richer kind of style than the first one.
Honey and...
Bit of honey, definitely, Stephen. And a lovely kind of nose. This one is from a producer called Cab de Beblenheim in Alsace. It's $8.49 in Waitrose, but it's an absolutely beautiful Pinot Gris and a great match for things like Chinese and Thai food. Again, that little bit of sweetness just is really nice with the flavours of Chinese and Thai.
What do you think of that one, Craig? Do you like that one?
It's quite nice. It's a wee bit desserty winey. So I'm not a fan of dessert wine. I don't really like sweet wine.
Well, I wouldn't call it dessert, but it is a bit sweeter. Definitely a bit sweeter.
So far, I like the...
Prefer the fresher, drier style. But I think another really nice example of, you know, an interesting wine, lots of kind of richness and texture.
Right,
Good
now
French
the
wine.
reds to finish with. Yeah.
Final one is a red, and it's from the classic French region, which is Bordeaux. And again, this one is a blend of Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot.
lovely.
You like the smell of that one?
I've converted to red wine on this show, by the way. When I started off, my only vice was white wine, but Tom's up the game, and I'm on to red now. Yes.
That smells like Christmas.
Lovely spice, isn't it? Christmas is perfect, Craig. It's got Christmas cake kind of spices in it, you know,
that is
clove and
lovely.
cinnamon.
That's really nice. I might be converted too. To wine.
Yes.
Very nice.
And what
Something
about,
tells me that happened a long time
What
ago.
about that soft kind of berry fruit in the palate too? It's very easy to drink. A cracker to go with grilled lamb chops, even roast beef, something like that. Lovely with all sorts of food. And I think another classic example of France at its best when it's kind of dry and savoury, but I think great flavours. $6.99 in Spa, the Chateau de Henry.
You know, I mean, the problem with French wine was people just didn't think they got value for money, I guess, anymore. Do you think now, has that changed? Are these good value, do you think?
I think these are really good value. You know, I mean, they're not cheap wines. $6.99 to $8.49 is not cheap. You're getting pretty serious wines. Not only are they delicious, but they're great food wines. You know, you'll finish these right to the bottom of the bottle with a nice meal and enjoy every glass. So I think good choices, I think.
Yeah, they're lovely. They're very
Favourite
nice.
out of the 3?
Actually, do you know what? I would have gone for #1, but after that red wine explosion, I'm going to go for the red one. I think that was the nicest one.
You got some lovely wines coming up because you're off to South Africa, unbelievably, during the World Cup.
I know, can you believe
How
it?
did
Isn't
you
that
swing
hysterical?
that?
Of all the comedians who would like to go to the World Cup, can you imagine how much I'm not that bothered? And I'm going to do Cape Town Comedy Festival in June, so it's a busy year. I'll be travelling quite a lot. But the World Cup wasted on me.
Oh, dear.
Maybe you can come back and tell us how you got on with your
Can you
wine tour.
imagine? I'll tell you, it was brilliant. There was a ball. I know nothing about football.
Tom, what are we going to do next? Where are you taking us next week in the world?
Well, listen, next week's a celebration of spring. So it's not one particular country, it's just really nice spring wines, lots of kind of vivid, bright flavours. I think you'll really like the wines next week.
Gosh.
And no more travelling for a while, Tom?
Well, I'll tell you later.
Can't we leave it again? Surely not.
I'll be back in time for next Friday.
Really? You're definitely going to be back next Friday?
That
and
is
when
Friday.
After that?
Well,
I must know, Tom.
She's quite obsessed. I think.
she's a bit obsessed.
This is what I work for, to get to a Friday.
A Friday
Thank
nice
God I'm
glass of
between you,
wine.
that's all I'm saying.
What was your
Craig.
favourite?
My favourite was probably number one.
Yeah, I like number
Craig,
one,
you're at the Glasgow
Glasgow Comedy
Festival?
Festival, yeah, next Friday. I'm really excited, or and more, so that should be good fun.
Oh, Craig, you've been a wonderful guest. Thank you for
Thank
being
you
here
very
today,
much.
Tom. As always, it's lovely to see you.
Thank you, Michelle, and you, of course.
Of course,
Thanks,
Tom,
guys.
and you.
Thanks, as always.